Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Eric Connor. Here at CBS 8, we're working for you, listening to your concerns, investigating your questions, and finding solutions that matter in our community. We begin with the Tijuana River sewage crisis. The San Diego County Board of Supervisors recently approved a proposal to ask the state pay $1.4 million for a contamination study of the Tijuana River Valley. CBS 8's Shannon Handy is working for you and explains how this could get the federal government to step in.
This is part of a renewed effort to designate the Tijuana River Valley as a Superfund site. Doing so would unlock billions of dollars in federal funding to help clean it up. The Tijuana River Valley has been a health hazard concern for decades.
We've been residents of IB for 10 years and it's still been a problem.
Local leaders have long fought to improve conditions here, and in some ways they've made a difference. But in 2024, when they asked the Environmental Protection Agency to designate the area a federal Superfund site, their request was denied.
Instead of action, we got rejection. The EPA refused to even send investigators to follow up our claim, despite the testimonies submitted by thousands of residents. They used outdated data as an excuse to look the other way.
Superfund is the federal program that spends billions cleaning up the most dangerous toxic sites in America. Past Superfund sites include the Hudson River in New York and the Savannah River in South Carolina. Still hoping to gain that status? Today, Supervisor Chair Tara Lawson-Remer and Chair Pro Tem Paloma Aguirre introduced a proposal to ask the state to allocate $1.4 million to the San Diego Regional Water Quality Control Board for a comprehensive contamination study.
The purpose of the study is to test for heavy metals, pesticides, pharmaceuticals, and PFAS. Once we collect this data, we're going to go back to the EPA and we're going to demand that they come again and take a second look at our community as a Superfund designation site.
This study is more than just data collection. We hear this all the time. Why another study? Why another study? Nobody has done a comprehensive soil study in the Tijuana River Valley.
That motion passes unanimously with all supervisors being present and voting aye.
The board approved the proposal. Now it will be up to the state to release the funds. If that happens, the study will take about 2 years to complete, followed by another shot at trying to become a Superfund site.
And with this study, San Diego will finally have the evidence we need to force Washington to do its job.
Shannon Handy, CBS 8.
The Tijuana River crisis is uprooting a community treasure, forcing the county's largest community garden to shut down after 23 years. And for those who have deep-set roots in this garden, this is a major loss. CBS 8's Abby Black has more on the potential closure and the hopes for a solution.
That's my timeshare house or vacation home.
80-year-old Cecilia Salamanca is one of the originals, renting a 30 by 30 plot when the Tijuana River Valley Community Garden opened in 2002.
It was like $25 or $30.
Today, the annual fee is $324.
I can stay in my garden for hours and hours under the sun, under the dirt, and I still don't mind.
He admits that he neglected his garden to care for his wife with dementia.
It used to be rows like this of dragon fruit.
Now he's back, fixing fence and starting over.
If I have money, I probably play golf. If I have more money, I probably go to casinos. I don't have money, so I stay in the garden. This is my hobby.
His garden has deep Filipino roots.
It's supposed to be medicinal.
Including this malunggay tree.
Luckily, it didn't die.
My health depends on it.
For Dennis Minnerly, the garden has been healing, especially after his massive heart attack.
Oh, I don't have no yard, no patio, no nothing. It's like a sanctuary.
Beautiful earthworm.
Bill Burns shows us the fruits of his labor. He's been here for 10 years.
This is all going to end up being bulldozed.
Now this community garden is about to be uprooted. The Resource Conservation District Board is closing, forcing out 210 plots across 20 acres of locally grown produce and flowers.
The word's out that they're closing the garden.
The Resource Conservation District of Greater San Diego says it's closing the garden due to health concerns from the Tijuana River sewage crisis and increased flooding, ending the management in November and returning the site to the county. However, the county says it has not received official notice, but will determine next steps if it does.
Most of the gardeners are hoping that the Resource Conservation District will make a deal with the county and allow some other organization to run the garden and manage it.
For now, Cecilio and 200 other gardeners are left hoping something takes root before their time runs out.
Just imagine if you're a fish or you want to go fishing in the beach or in the pier every day, and then all of a sudden they close the pier, and you can't go there anymore. What will you do now? I mean, it's gonna hurt a little bit.
In the Tijuana River Valley, Abby Black, CBS 8.
And we have an update for you on a story that we have been following for weeks. Sheriff's deputies were called to this pet cremation business in San Marcos that permanently closed with several customers' animals still inside. Owners showed up demanding their animals back. Working for you, CBS 8's Steve Price was also there and confirmed another fear. The business owner gave some people ashes that weren't actually their pet.
It's a major update to a story we've been following for you for weeks surrounding this pet cremation business that suddenly shut its doors without warning. Today, several pet owners came demanding their animals back, and the sheriff's department showed up to help them.
I want his remains back. He's disrespecting my dog.
Denise Parker took Murphy Brown to Angel Paws Pet Cremation and got his remains back a week later. Or so she thought. After seeing our stories, the math didn't add up.
Gas has been shut off since July 5th. My dog came in on August 1st. I just want his remains. He was my heart and soul dog.
Denise showed up at Angel Paws today demanding answers, and she wasn't alone.
Chris, I need to know the truth. Come talk to me.
Several pet owners showed up, some wanting proof that they had the right remains, and others who had received nothing from the business demanding their pets back. They saw the owner inside, but he wouldn't respond, so they called 911. Sheriff's deputies arrived and convinced the owner, Chris Settle, to allow people to come inside to pick up their animals. And here's what they found inside: freezers full of animals going back several months.
The smell is horrific. There's bodies laying in the freezer of little animals, and they're not even bagged up. They're just laying on top of animals that are bagged up. It was horrible.
Denise says while searching through her fourth freezer, her fears were confirmed. She found Murphy Brown.
I'm very relieved, but I just feel so bad because he was disrespected. He lied to me and told me he gave me my dog back, and my dog's right there.
CBS 8 reached out to Angel Paws owner, who texted us that he is still hoping to get everyone their animals back, but he is also in the process of being evicted and is quickly running out of time. In San Marcos, working for you, Steve Price, CBS 8.
Still ahead, a major development in Mission Hills is facing backlash from residents. We're working for you to share their concerns. Plus, an update on a local recycling company that's been drawing complaints from neighbors for years. Welcome back. A mixed-use housing project in Mission Hills, under review by the city of San Diego, is facing pushback from people who live nearby. We're working for you after viewers reached out saying the proposed 12-story building is too tall and would add congestion, potentially making the neighborhood unsafe. CBS 8's Jenny Day has more.
Mission Hills is historic, charming, and growing.
It's just so out of character for the community. It's not something that we want to see.
The city of San Diego tells me the privately funded, factory-built proposed project at the corner of Fort Stockton Drive and Goldfinch Street would be 12 stories high. The ground floor would be for commercial space with 120 units above on a 90 by 90 square foot lot.
Because of the way Complete Community's been set up, only 2 of them need to be affordable, which is ridiculous. So it doesn't help families. It doesn't help affordability.
Doug Poole lives nearby and also has concerns about the height, design, lack of community input, lack of parking, traffic, and safety. For example, with increased density, evacuation routes in the event of a wildfire.
This whole area is canyon rim country, and the streets are narrow.
Poole agrees we need more housing, but says the proposed project would be 7 stories higher than this one on the right.
The only thing that's going to impact this is the City Council. Let's take another look at this one and see what we can do. Let's listen to the community.
Working for you, we found Affordable Development LLC on the business license. Records show Stephen Yari signed it, who is the co-founder of the Los Angeles development firm Stockdale Capital. While they show an asset value worth $1.5 billion, it is, however, the same company that foreclosed on its attempt to renovate Horton Plaza. Jenny Day, CBS 8.
We reached out to the developer and council member Stephen Whitburn, who represents this area. His spokesperson says no permits have been issued yet and that he will share this feedback with appropriate parties. Well, the San Diego City Attorney is taking legal action against a Barrio Logan recycling plant. A public nuisance lawsuit has been filed after years of complaints from neighbors. CBS 8's Alec Lies has more on this case and why those living around the business are so upset.
It's called SA Recycling, but neighbors say they're doing far more than typical recycling operations. Now, after years of complaints, the city attorney's office is stepping in to stop what they say is an illegal business.
Banging the cars.
The facility on 32nd Street and Main Street sits across the street from homes.
Smashing cars were all loud. Sometimes I even think like they crash into a car.
Maria Isabel Morales lives nearby and says the noise has driven some neighbors away.
The neighbor on the corner, she had to move out, and then the lady next door to they were living there, and because of the loud noise.
Nearby businesses tell me it can be very loud during the day, but luckily it does not impact business. Now, City Attorney Heather Ferbert is taking civil action against SA Recycling, its CEO George Adams, and CFO Mark Sweetman. The complaint says the company illegally expanded into auto wrecking and dismantling in a residential zone without city permits. And inspections revealed, quote, extensive violations, including unpermitted grading, electrical work, and construction. The city says the operation gives SA Recycling an unfair advantage and sparked complaints of noise, air pollution, and other hazards.
Before it used to be recycle, and now it's car smashing. There's no space for us to park the car.
While many are bothered, not all neighbors think it's an issue.
It's not loud. You know, that type of work, you're going to get noise like that.
And operations are hidden from the street.
And you can see they got shrubs there. They put like an awning of sort on the fence.
In a statement to CBS 8, a representative with SA Recycling says they have operated lawfully at the location since 2007 and says, quote, we are confident the facts will show that our operations are permitted and not a nuisance, and we will continue working with the city and community to address concerns while maintaining our important services. The lawsuit is looking to stop all alleged illegal activities and impose penalties up to $2,500 per day per violation. In Barrio Logan, Alex Lai, CBS 8.
A fall tradition is on hold. The apples in Julian are not ready to be picked yet. Coming up, we'll show you what's going on and how to make sure you don't miss out on the fun. Welcome back. The City of San Diego's ban on beachside yoga classes is unconstitutional in the opinion of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. The decision upholds a prior ruling in June which allowed yoga to resume. Attorneys for yoga instructors say no judge on the Ninth Circuit voted to rehear the case. City leaders argued it wasn't a total ban, but a temporary summer moratorium to manage tourist crowds at shoreline parks. Well, a surprise for dog owners in Pacific Beach, the Crown Point Junior Music Academy is now closed to the public. The joint use field was one of the only dog-friendly parks in the area. But San Diego Unified says off-leash dogs created hazardous conditions with holes and waste affecting students.
It's one of those situations where a few can ruin it for everybody. Haven't been cleaning up after their dogs, have allowed their dogs to dig deep holes that kids can trip over.
Later this month, the district will carry out maintenance and hold meetings to find solutions. People hoping to go apple picking in Julian may be surprised to learn some orchards haven't even opened up yet. CBS 8's Shannon Handy visited the area and has details on what you need to know before you head out to the backcountry.
Depending on the variety, apples can ripen anytime between Labor Day and Veterans Day. This year, weather conditions have delayed some varieties, but businesses up here say when it comes to apple picking, Julian is still the place to be.
This was my grandma's favorite.
Stacy Payakoff from Ranchita del Rio knows everything about apples.
There you can see some water core. That's from the rain that came.
Born and raised in Julian, she says each season is different, including this one. How is the apple season up here this year?
I would say it's a medium.
Compare that to last year, which she says was fruitless for a lot of orchards. It all depends on the weather. This year, some varieties didn't get enough chill hours when temperatures dipped below 45 degrees. Other factors, such as a mild summer, have resulted in a later apple picking season.
For instance, this year it wasn't hot, which is nice for people, but apples, their growing season is in June. So if you don't get a hot June, then your apples stay smaller.
Ranchita del Rio just started offering apple picking last weekend. Volcan Valley Apple Farm just announced after a 2-week break they'll be open this coming Saturday. Julian Farm and Orchard hopes to have apple picking starting this weekend as well.
This isn't ready. It's pretty hard to cut.
Manager Eva Elmvad says though they're kicking things off later than normal, there's still a lot of apples to be picked.
This year, our early producing apples, in our case Honeycrisp apples, didn't get pollinated due to some fog and some cold weather while they were blooming. But we are excited that we're now going into October and our later producing apples are about to start ripening.
And even if you're not the one doing the picking, you can still have apples. You can also choose to pick different fruits like berries or take part in other activities throughout the orchard.
So between our apple cannon, our cider press demonstrations, cider slushies, we try to make use of apple season and give everyone a little bit of a taste. Even though they might not be able to particularly pick an apple, they can still experience apple season in a variety of different ways.
Eva's advice, plan ahead. Most places require reservations for picking. For a link with more information on the orchards in Julian, visit CBS8.com and click on this story. In Julian, Shanna Handy, CBS 8.
Critics are speaking out after Governor Newsom says California's home insurance crisis is getting better. Coming up, we're working for you and digging into what it means for homeowners. Welcome back. Governor Newsom says California's insurance crisis is improving, but consumer advocates aren't buying it. Newsom recently spoke with former President Bill Clinton about it. CBS 8's Abby Black is working for you with why critics say the governor is wrong.
From a global perspective, may be one of the most pressing global issues.
Governor Gavin Newsom spoke with former President Bill Clinton Wednesday, touting progress in California's insurance crisis.
2 days ago, we had our fourth come back in. We had a lot of folks who were leaving the market.
We confirmed with the Department of Insurance that 5 insurers will stay in California: Mercury, CSAA or AAA, USAA, Pacific Specialty, and California Casualty. But we reached out to consumer watchdog President Jamie Court, who remains skeptical.
This is a nothing burger because most of these companies didn't say they were leaving or going anywhere. It's an announcement that they're staying.
We found all 5 requested identical 6.9% rate hikes, just under the threshold requiring public hearings. The rate increases follow Commissioner Lara's June strategy, allowing catastrophe modeling for wildfire rates.
We had to address the reinsurance market. We had to address the capital needs of these companies. And the reforms we've just put into place allow for more rapid rate increases.
The governor should care more about the fire victims getting their claims paid than insurance companies getting rate hikes that they may or may not deserve quicker.
Court says discounts for homeowners who create defensible space do not guarantee that they won't be dropped.
The only way to get them to cover people is to force them to do it.
Consumer Watchdog is pushing back against a ballot measure that would repeal 1988's Prop 103, which lets insurance companies raise rates without opening their books to regulators. Instead, Consumer Watchdog launched their own ballot initiative requiring coverage for homeowners who make their properties more fire resistant according to state standards.
We really need to encourage people to do that, and the only way to encourage people to do that is to make sure they have an insurance policy after they do it.
Working for you, Abby Black, CBS 8.
Consumer Watchdog will soon start gathering signatures for their ballot measure. If it makes the ballot, you'll get to decide whether insurance companies must cover homeowners who meet wildfire safety standards. Water rates are staying the same in the city of San Diego for now. The city council recently delayed a vote on water rate hikes that could result in a cumulative increase of more than 60% over the next 4 years. The increases, if approved by the council, will begin next January and continue through 2029. On top of the increased water rates, wastewater rates could jump over 30% over the same time frame.
I would wish that they would have said no. I implored them to say no. My rent is 60% of my income. I'm retired, and if the water rate goes up that much, so will my rent. It's going to push me into homelessness, and that is not a very good situation for me or many San Diegans.
Several factors are pushing the increased rates, including the cost of importing water, inflation, repairs to aging infrastructure, and investments in future water projects. Meanwhile, the next hearing for the water rates is set for Tuesday, October 28th in the council chambers. The average cost of rent dropped slightly in September, marking a 0.5% drop from this time last year. According to new data from Apartment List, the median rent for a one-bedroom in San Diego is now $1,963, while the average cost for a two-bedroom is now at $2,460. And while prices have come down, San Diego still holds the 11th highest median rent among major U.S. cities. For a deeper look at these trends and to see how other cities in San Diego County compare, you can visit CBS8.com. Kids Free San Diego Month is officially underway. From Birch Aquarium to Legoland to SeaWorld, more than 100 locations are offering family-friendly deals during the month of October. The program is in its 14th year and offers free admission for children 12 and under at dozens of locations.
Our mission is simple. We promote San Diego to bring travelers and tourists to our destination, both for meetings and for leisure travel. And Kids Free helps us do that in a softer period of time for the community.
You can find more details about Kids Free San Diego in this story at CBS8.com. That is going to do it for us. Remember, if there is something you'd like us to look into, email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com.